10th Biology, Unit 16, Plant and Animal Hormones. Already we have discussed about some of the endocrine glands. In this part, we are going to discuss about the reproductive glands. Gonads are the reproductive glands. Gonads are reproductive organs. The reproductive organs also function as endocrine glands. So they are called as reproductive glands. They produce reproductive hormones. Males have male reproductive glands. Females have female reproductive glands. The male reproductive glands are the testes. Ovaries are the female reproductive glands. The testes secrete male sex hormone called testosterone. Ovaries secrete two hormones. They are estrogen and progesterone. We have already learned about the role of testosterone, estrogen, progesterone in 9th standard while learning the topic reproductive system. Testes are ovoid structures. Males have pair of testes. When we see the internal structure of testes, it has number of seminiferous tubules. Each seminiferous tubule is a coiled structure, highly coiled. It is microscopic. We need microscope to see the tubules. In between the seminiferous tubules, the space is filled with Leydig cells. These Leydig cells secrete hormone. Testosterone is secreted by the Leydig cells. So Leydig cells act as endocrine part of testes. Leydig cells form the endocrine part of the testes. They secrete the male sex hormone called testosterone. Now let us see the functions of testosterone. It influences the process of spermatogenesis. What is spermatogenesis? The formation of sperm is called as spermatogenesis. The spermatogenesis takes place inside the seminiferous tubules. Inside the seminiferous tubules, the sperm production is influenced by the hormone secreted by Leydig cells. What is the name of the hormone? Testosterone. The testosterone stimulates protein synthesis and controls muscular growth. Proteins are called as bodybuilders. Protein is formed under the influence of testosterone, so muscular growth takes place. It is responsible for the development of secondary sexual characters. Primary sexual characters decide whether an individual is male or female. The secondary sexual characters are developed in the later part of life during puberty. Hair on body and face, deep voice pattern, a specific male voice, broadening of shoulder. They are the male secondary sexual characters. Ovaries are found on the sides of the uterus. This is uterus where child development takes place. This is one ovary and another ovary. These ovaries, apart from the reproductive role, play an endocrine role. Ovaries are located in the pelvic cavity of the abdomen, that is lower part of the abdomen. Ovaries secrete two hormones, estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen is produced by the Graafian follicles. Progesterone is produced by the corpus luteum. We have already learned about estrogen and progesterone in the second video of the lesson 16, that is the present lesson, while studying the anterior pituitary. While studying the hormones of anterior pituitary, we have already learned the estrogen and progesterone. Now let us see where are the Graafian follicles and corpus luteum located inside the ovary. These are developing follicles. Inside the developing follicle, an ovum is developing. This is mature follicle. The mature follicle has mature ovum, that is called as Graafian follicle. Ovum is covered by follicle cells. This mature follicle is called as Graafian follicle. This Graafian follicle secretes a hormone estrogen. and the mature ovum comes out of the ovary. This is called as ovulation. At the time of ovulation, the follicle cells rupture, they get damaged, and ovum is released out of the ovary. After ovulation, the remaining follicle cells reassemble and the cells grow and form a structure called as corpus luteum. The corpus luteum acts as temporary endocrine gland. It secretes the hormone progesterone. Progesterone is produced by corpus luteum. Estrogen is produced by the follicle, that is Graafian follicle. It is nothing but mature follicle containing ovum. Now let us see the functions of estrogen hormone. It brings about the changes that occur during puberty. During puberty, the changes are due to the hormone estrogen. It initiates the process of oogenesis. What is oogenesis? Formation of ovum, development of ovum inside the ovary is called as oogenesis. The oogenesis is initiated by the estrogen. It stimulates the maturation of ovarian follicles inside the ovary. When the ovarian follicles mature, the ovum also matures. Estrogen initiates oogenesis and stimulates maturation of ovum inside the ovary. It promotes the development of female secondary sexual characters. Breast development, high-pitched voice, the specific female characters that appear during puberty are called as female secondary sexual characters. They are formed due to the hormone estrogen. Now let us see the functions of progesterone. It is called as pregnancy hormone because it maintains pregnancy. It prepares the uterus for the implantation of the embryo. Implantation means attachment of the embryo inside the wall of uterus. This is ovary, this is uterus. The ovary produces ovum. During ovulation, the ovum is released and the ovum passes through the oviduct, or this is called as fallopian tube. If fertilization takes place inside the tube, then the zygote starts dividing into 2 cells, 4 cells, 8 cells, and the cells divide further and form a multicellular structure that is called as embryo. The embryo gets attached inside the wall of the uterus. That process is called as implantation. After implantation only, remaining development of the young one takes place inside the uterus. It is essential for the formation of placenta. Placenta is a structure that connects mother's body with the developing young one. This is wall of the uterus. The outer part is uterine wall, and this is developing individual called as fetus. The mother's body is connected with fetus by placenta. This is placenta, and this is umbilical cord. The placenta connects mother's body and the fetus, and the placenta supplies nutrients, oxygen to the developing individual. Placenta formation is due to progesterone, so it is involving in the implantation of the embryo and placenta formation, so it maintains pregnancy. It is also responsible for the premenstrual changes of the uterus. Changes of the uterus before the menstruation is also due to the hormone progesterone. We have a small account of thymus gland in 10th standard. In higher classes we will have more detailed study. It is a gland found at the base of the trachea. What is trachea? Windpipe, just above the heart. It is in the size of small matchbox. It involves in immunity. What is immunity? Immunity prevents the diseases. It is located in the upper part of the chest, covering the lower end of trachea. It covers the lower end of trachea. In this area, the trachea divides into 2 bronchi. Thymosin is the hormone secreted by the thymus. The thymus secretes the hormone thymosin. The thymosin involves in immunity, that is the resistant power to prevent the diseases. It has 2 lobes. The thymus gland has right lobe and left lobe. The hormone thymosin stimulates immune function. What is immune function? Prevention of diseases. Inactivated, the disease causing organisms are inactivated or killed so that disease is prevented. That is immune function. The immune function is stimulated by the thymosin. It stimulates the production and differentiation of lymphocytes. Lymphocytes are a kind of white blood cells. There are two kinds of lymphocytes, T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes. The thymus produces T lymphocytes, the first letter of thymus. The T lymphocytes kill the disease causing organisms. The T lymphocytes production and differentiation takes place inside the thymus. So thymus is concerned with immunity. It is a gland found at the base of trachea just above the heart. So this is the end part of lesson, the unit 16. In the next video we shall start a new lesson.